Hi, it's Jonathan. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your lighting for mobile production. Okay, so before we start working on our mobile project, I just want to explain the difference between the standard project and the mobile production setup. So here we are on the PC cinematic type of project, which is using what we called deferred rendering. Deferred rendering is a default rendering mode in Unreal Engine. It will allow you to use lumen for the lighting and global illumination, screen space effect, and more complex lighting and material. So if you check in this project, my lighting are in movable. See, if I take the directional lighting, you will see the mobility is set to movable. That means all the lighting and the shadow are calculated in real time. Also, the global illumination is calculated in real time. A quick talk about the global illumination. What is it? It is the bounce of the light on the object. It is really important as it will add a lot of realism to your scene. You can see, for example, on the directional light, if I go here to indirect lighting intensity, and if I increase it, you're gonna see the bounce is stronger. Okay? So in deferred rendering, this is calculated in real time. But you will see that on mobile setup, we cannot have this effect working in real time. So we're gonna have to use a technique to make it looks good on mobile. So let's switch to our mobile project. And here we are on our mobile project. So you will see that the geometry is the same, but the way we handle the lighting is completely different. So first of all, when you start working on a mobile project, you're gonna have to change some settings in edit project settings, and you're gonna go down to rendering, and here you have mobile shading, and you by default it's gonna be deferred shading. You're gonna have to switch to forward shading. Unreal is gonna ask you to restart. You're gonna have to restart the project. Okay, so why forward shading? Forward rendering is optimized for performance, especially on mobile. It comes with a fewer lighting and rendering feature like limited green space effect, limited dynamic light, and simpler material, but it is really essential to make your project run on mobile. Another thing you have to do is you're gonna look for HDR, and you have mobile HDR. Be sure that it is a check. What is mobile HDR? It's allow a wider range of brightness value, but also enable some post-process effect like bloom and a better color grading. So on these two settings are ready, you can close the project setting. Okay, so back to our scene. What is the main difference between this mobile scene compared to the PC one we just saw earlier is gonna be the lighting. If I take, for example, my gun and I move it, you're gonna see that the shadow is moving with it. Why is that? It is because all the lighting and shadow on this scene are what we call baked. What is baked lighting? It is a process where Unreal is gonna build your lighting and write the information of light and shadow on what we call the lightmap, which are linked to your object. So each object of your scene will have a light map with the information of light and shadow written on it. To start this process, you have to go to build and build lighting only. But before we do that, we have to prepare our scene. So first thing is the light. You can see that my directional light has a mobility stationary. In Unreal, every light has three different types of mobility, either static, stationary, or movable. You saw in a previous project that I was using movable lighting. Movable light can be totally dynamic, and you can change the orientation or intensity or everything. The shadow will change everything is dynamic. But the problem, this type of light costs a lot, especially on mobile. The static mobility. Static light are fully baked light. That means when you're gonna go to build and do your build lighting only, the static light will be calculated and you will have what I just show you, shadow baked on your object. So you cannot change during the game the intensity or anything. Stationary are a bit special light which are between static and movable. That means they will be baked during the build, the lighting, the shadow, and the global illumination. But during the game, you can change the intensity and have dynamic shadow on movable objects. So these are the three types of light that you can have in Unreal. And for our mobile project, we're gonna use static and stationary light only for the best performance. Okay, one last thing I want to show you about the lighting. If you have static light, you will have this preview message appearing on your mesh. It's totally normal, it's just Unreal telling you that what you see is a preview or how it's gonna look after the bake. Okay, so the other thing we have to do to be able to build the lighting is actually to prepare your mesh. We're gonna have to prepare UV channel on your object to be able to receive the shadow and light information. It is what we call Lightmap. So let's open the ground, simple object, and I'm gonna show you how to prepare it. Okay, so now we are inside our mesh, and I'm gonna show you how to prepare well your UV channel to be able to receive the light map when we build the light. So if you check my object here, we have UV. I have two UV channels. This is my UV0, which is used for the texturing, and I have UV channel 1, which is going to be used when we build the light, and the light map will be written using this UV. To have this UV channel 2, you have two different ways. Either you prepare it on your software like Blender, Maya, or 3ds Max, or you can actually generate it inside Unreal directly. To do so, it's pretty easy. You will go here on the build setting. You just gonna have to check the generate lightmap UV. You're gonna have to put a lightmap resolution, minimum lightmap resolution. You can go to 1000 or 2000. This is okay. This is just for generating your UV. It's not the resolution of the light map. You have to set up a destination light map index. I'm going to put one. Once you did that, you can simply apply change. And Unreal is going to create this UV channel 1. After you done that, now you have to tell Unreal which channel UV you're gonna use for the light map. So it's inside general settings. You have light map resolution. This is really important. It's gonna be the resolution of the light map. You really have to think well about your light map resolution. The more big the object is, the higher resolution you're gonna go. Small object will have a 32 or 64 resolution. Here, my ground is covering a large area, so I'm gonna go to 512. And last thing to set, light map coordinate index. This is to tell Unreal which UV channel to use. So I just put 1, which is UV channel 1. Once you've done that, your object is ready. And then you save. Okay, back into our thing. You remember I told you that you should adjust the resolution of the light map depending on the size of your object. To check if your light map density is good or not, you have a really interesting tool. Here you have lit, you can go to optimization view mode and you can put light map density. If you do so, your object will appear either blue, green, yellow, or red. Blue is green are pretty good. That means your light map is not too dense and has a good resolution. But for example, if you go there, I have a small object which appears to be really red. Why? They are pretty small, but if I open them, you can see that the resolution 256. For small object like that, it's way too big. I can reduce it to 32 and save. They are still appearing red because I need to rebuild the lighting to recalculate the light map and change the color. This is bringing us to our next point, building the light. Okay, to build the light, we're gonna go back to normal mode. It's pretty simple. If your lights are in static or stationary, your light map are ready, you can build a light. So you go to build. Here you have build lighting only and lighting quality, which is really important. It's gonna be the quality of your bake. You have production, high, medium, or preview. Preview is really rough and production is the best quality. It's gonna have a better shadow detail and a better global illumination too. To work, just work on preview to do your test, and once everything is working well and you are happy with your lighting, you can just do a build in production. I will stay preview and I just have to build lighting only and I click here. And now we just have to wait the end of the build. Okay, my build is finished. So you can see I have some warning. It can happen if you have, like, for example, object with overlapping UV. By 50% or 60. But it's only warning, so it's okay. But you can have some error too, or some black object sometimes. So you can check if there is problem with the UV map, the channel one is not overlapping or this type of thing. And now, if you are going back to the scene, this object which were really red, if you go back to density, they become green, and now they are clean. So you see, all the shadow are baked, so it's not totally perfect. And you really have to deal with the resolution of the light map to have a nice shadow, but at the same time not too big. Why it's important to not have, you can not put just all the object with a resolution of 2K or 4K for the light map, because it's actually generating a file. If you go to your project and you go to content level, you have here messaging clean build data, and you have here 161 MO. And it's actually really important because when you're gonna do your packaging to send your app to the Google Play, this is gonna make your build more and more heavy, and you want to keep it as low as possible. And it's gonna prevent crash too on some device. So it's really important. It's really a balance between quality and optimization. Okay, so now we did our bake. The lights are good. The light map are clean. If you want to see how it's gonna look on mobile without launching it on your phone straight, there is actually some visualizer here in Unreal. You can preview platform Android and go to Android. And it's gonna load a bit. Yes, and this is close of what it's how it's gonna look on the phone. It's not 100% exactly the same because there is always a bit difference with the phone, but it's pretty solid. It's pretty similar, so you can see if there is problem. Because sometimes when you start looking with the visualizer, you're gonna see some objects are black or problem of material or problem of light map. So it's pretty useful to visualize like that and check a bit your scene everywhere to see everything is correct. So here you are, your scene is ready. You can try it on mobile. Anyway, you always have to launch on your phone at the end to validate that everything is correct. For that, you have to set up the platform. I'm not going to show you on this video how to prepare this because it's a bit of configuration to prepare your apply for Android. But once it's ready, you can Android and package your project. This is it.